Hey, everybody. This is Glenn Setchfield, VP of Marketing for DMI. Welcome to our webinar on the strategic advantages of indexed universal life insurance, co-hosted by DMI and our partners at Annexus. I'm joined by Stephen Poppy from Annexus and Joshua Rhem from DMI. Today, we're diving into IUL's tax benefits, debunking the myths around illustrations, and exploring product innovations. With our unique partnership with Annexus, DMI brings you insider insights and tools to enhance your financial planning and growing your business. Let's get started on unlocking the potential of IUL for tax advantage retirement income. But before we do that, I just want to mention that Maureen is going to be playing with some surveys today. You just saw one pop up before you just now. So we'd love to get your engagement there. Also, at the end of the webinar, we'd like to get your thoughts and impressions of what you experienced today. So thank you so much for being here. And, I again would just like to thank Joshua Rhem and Stephen Poppy from Annexus for being here. We are one of just a few IMOs that has a relationship with Annexus. So, Stephen, we really appreciate that relationship and the opportunity to do these kinds of things together. So it's really awesome. And I'm really looking forward to this presentation today. I know you guys put a lot of work into this, and I will maybe hand it off to Josh first. Josh, in case you want to say anything regarding Stephen or Nexus or the topic.
Sure. I always feel like I steal Steve's thunder in these introductions. I won't do that today. We'll be brief with it. Like Glenn said, though, we do really appreciate that you're taking time out of your day to do this. It's lunch hour for some of you on the East Coast, so even if you're working through your lunch, we really appreciate that you're here today. So we want to pay you back for it. And to do that, we just ask throughout the webinar, even just find one thing that's worth follow-up so we can get something out of this for you in the form of bringing an idea to your client. We just really want this to be worth your time today, which we know is very valuable. We know you'll find it interesting, but we want it to be worthwhile. So with that, I'll kick it over to Steve, who will talk to us about Annexus, and we'll get into IUL and taxes.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Glenn. Great to be here, everybody. Thanks for taking your time to jump on the call. Glenn,
Thank you, Steve.
the feeling's mutual. We have a very, very strong relationship with DMI. You guys have been with us since the very beginning. We're very, very proud of that, so thank you. We're going to start a little bit today. We're going to get into IUL. Josh and I are going to talk to you about some tax advantages of IUL, some different kind of ways of looking at it. Taking what we think is a great opportunity in the space. IUL, if done correctly, becomes in our mind here at Annexus the last bastion of tax-free income. It can become a very good tool if designed correctly to create tax-deferred growth. And then again, also tax-free income. So we're going to get into that as we go here a little bit. At first, let's just kind of make sure we understand and communicate who Annexus is. Annexus is not an insurance company. Annexus is a independent company. We are here in Scottsdale, Arizona. We're about 20 years old. We're founded in 2000. And Annexus really represents, as you can see on the screen, kind of three concepts I'll talk about. And it's about our philosophy, it's about our partnerships, and it's about our narrative. And we feel like there's some narrative here that we love sharing, that hopefully you can find two or three things you like as well around our narratives that can help you give you some confidence in Annexus, give you some confidence in our products, and also give you some good information you can take out to your take out to your clients. So first and foremost, when you think of Annexus, it's product development company. That's what we are at our core. We're a product development company. So the design of this product, what we're going to talk about today, is made by Annexus. So this product is not a death benefit product. Of course, it has a death benefit to get the tax deferred growth and tax-free income. But this is a specialized product that we team up with our carrier partners. They already have the regular life insurance products, but they team up with us to design something different, something more focused on the issue of taxes. So we have several strategic partners, including, of course, DMI, Josh and the team, Glenn. So thank you very much for that. You may or may not know that to have access to Annexus is very limited. This is a limited access product. It's an exclusive product. There's only 20 DMIs in the whole country that have access to our product. So that should help you. I think what we hear around here is it gives you a unique story to share with your clients. It could be another great opportunity to go see a client you haven't seen in a while. You should absolutely not have any competition at all in our product. And it should help you make some cross sales. Maybe some of you out there are selling our FIAs. And thank you for that. We appreciate your business. And by the way, whatever we are at Nexus, we are because of your business. So we appreciate that very much. And then lastly, it's around these strategic partners as well, besides our distribution partner. We're going to talk a little bit about an actuarial firm we work with in how we power these products, how we design them. We'll get into that a little bit. And also some brands brand names you recognize from Wall Street. So we bring that all together. At a Nexus, our philosophy is better consumer outcome. We want this product to put more money in your client's pocket than anything else you could have sold. We want your clients to win. We want to make sure that the product is sustainable. And when I speak about sustainability, I mean, this product may be you may sell it to your grandchild and it may be around for 100 years. It has to work for a long, long time. We're very, very careful on that. And we also want the probability of success to be very, very high. The probability of success in this product is very, very high. That's very important to us. We're also going to talk about, not today, but our product is also contractually guaranteed to be uncapped. The indexes in our product are also proprietary. We build those as well. So we build the product and we build the indexes together. So you're going to get very consistent, stable returns from our indexes. You're going to get extremely high par rates. That's very important. A lot of people think that secret to IUL is what does the index do? I'm here to tell you today, guys, through our design, through our research, what puts most money in your client's pocket is going to be low fees and high par rates. So we'll talk more about that as we go. You're going to also have strong contractual guarantees on the product. These par rates absolutely can change. Carriers can change par rates. We can change par rates. But all you can really hope for is you have a product also, besides the low cost structure, the high par rates. You want to make sure you have strong contractual guarantees on those par rates. And then again, we talked about a little bit about these brands you can trust. So to kind of move forward here, how do we do it? Why are we different? There's nothing wrong with carrier products. This product is not taking IUL and just making it work for this, kind of retrofitting this concept. This product was specifically designed for the ideas we're going to share with you today. The tax-deferred growth and tax-free income, the mitigation of taxes is specifically designed for that. The reason a Nexus can focus on this R&D and innovation is because we team up with Genesis. They're a large actuarial firm, been around a long time. Together, Nexus and Genesis has more patents in the whole industry combined. We're very proud of that. But the reason we can do the kind of research and work we do is because we have 17 actuaries just working on a few products. There's nothing wrong with the carrier products. I'm not going to say anything bad about them. It's just they have a lot of life insurance products and they have maybe have 10 actuaries at the most carriers. So we just kind of flip that. It's just really a strength of ours, is just being able to perform that more deep dive R&D, research, innovation, a lot of things going on here at Nexus with that. So, and then lastly, when we talked about our strategic partners, of course, with you, the reason you have access to me, the reason you have access to a Nexus is because you're working with Josh, you're working with DMI. So congratulations for that. But also these are our strategic partnerships. These are names and brands you can lean into. Hopefully you'll find a couple that, give you a lot of comfort. So on the insurance side, we work with Securian and we work with Nationwide. So with that said, maybe a last little fun slide before I turn it back to Josh, just to make sure you understand, we're not the carrier, we're the design company. So what we do here at Nexus is kind of fun. What we do here at Nexus is similar to what Shelby does to the Ford Mustang. Ford makes the Ford Mustang. It's a great everyday car, but it's not a Lamborghini and it's not a Ferrari. It's a good car, but not a great car. It's not necessarily a high performance car. Shelby then takes that car, strips it down, rebuilds it from ground up, and turns it into an iconic performance vehicle. So what do we do here at Nexus? We work with our distribution partners. We take their Ford Mustang, if you will. We strip it down, we rebuild it from ground up, and we take it from average to extraordinary. There's going to be two innovations really that kind of occur in our products. One of them is greater efficiency, and number two, it's packing it with power. The indexes that you see in our product are also ours. Also, you'll see in the IUL world what we've noticed, I've noticed this. I've been doing this a long time, too long to tell you about it. But also, Shelby is really renowned for their marketing, and their marketing is a 2 blue stripes. It's paint. It looks great, but you and I know it's just paint. It's just a decal. Well, in the IUL space, the paint is an illustration. We like to say that the illustration is a great tool for client facing. It's a great optic, but it's nothing more, nothing less than an optic. Our illustrations, along with the whole industry, are 100% wrong 100% of the time. So we'll get into a little bit more later about what you can do as an advisor, what to look for in a product that can more ensure your client success and better consumer outcomes. All right, let's take a look at what the opportunity is out there. Josh?
Yeah, thanks. Great analogy. And Nexus definitely does set us apart with the product innovation. But even with that, our objective is never to sell you on just the latest and greatest product. We want to give you the solutions that will solve for the objectives and the problems that your clients are concerned about. And the market is clear that we need to solve for and address taxes. 7 out of 10 Americans are worried that taxes will affect their ability to withdraw income in the future from tax-deferred accounts such as 401ks and IRAs. The tax deferral was great along the way, but when it comes time to take income, they're worried about taxes at that point. Also, Social Security is one of the anchors of a financial retirement income plan that is partially tax advantaged, but still, even so, 72% of Americans say they can't even count on those benefits. And then lastly on this slide, I always describe the use of life insurance as a client retention necessity. And we say that because, as the statistic shows, 73% would stop using their current financial advisor if they didn't help effectively manage taxes on retirement income. So if we're not using this strategy, we expose ourselves to competition. We need to make sure we can speak to taxes in order to retain our clients. And on the flip side of that, perhaps after this, we can lead with tax conversations and win more business from clients where their advisors aren't able to address this as well as you will be able to. So that's the state of the market. As we go to the next slide, Steve. So what this slide really reminds me of is today, as we plan for retirement and as we plan for the future, we have to go beyond simply diversifying among asset classes. Yes, our portfolio has stocks, bonds, cash, maybe some real estate exposure. That's asset class diversification. But we need to encourage our clients to spread their investment dollars across a diverse product set, diverse account types that can give them different types of tax advantages. Doing so will make for a more efficient portfolio over just a simply investment-only strategy. And we often find that a lot of our agents' clients are siloed in that middle section. The bulk of their investment dollars are in tax-deferred assets, which are great. 401ks are great right now, especially if your employer is matching those. We want 401ks, we want 403bs, traditional IRAs, CDs, stocks. All of those are good, but we have to diversify across various product types, including the tax-free product types such as IULs, Roths, some municipal bonds. But obviously today, specifically when it comes to IULs, we need to have that in there to address what we just said our clients were looking for, which is highlighted again on the next slide. Thank you, Steve. Here we are. So the consumer demand is clear. What do they want you to solve for? What are your clients going to be asking you for? We know what the market tells us. They're going to be asking you these questions. They're going to be asking you about tax deferred growth, but then when it comes time to withdraw the money, can it also be tax free? Your clients are going to be asking you that. We want growth potential, but is there some downside protection? Your clients want that. Flexibility and control. We talked about Roth IRA. Some people are planning for college and you have 529 plans. Those come with restrictions. Is there anything with more flexibility and control? I make a lot of money. Is there anything that doesn't have any income or contribution limits? You're going to see these clients ask you these questions. So the question is, are you armed with the right tools to address these and to address it in a competitive way? And the next slide Perhaps, Steve, you can speak to it as we get a little bit more specific now to the product. The next slide speaks to why an IUL should be a part of your solutions.
Yeah, thank you, Josh. Well done. Yeah, so it's just we feel like here at Nexus, we're not in, Josh did a good job. We're not saying that IUL is the only place to save money, and we're not necessarily saying it's the best place to save money. But if you use IUL correctly, there's a tremendous amount of benefits to the consumer. It's a very unique financial tool, so it can really be in a lot of ways the last bastion for tax-free income. So we find a lot of sales around the flexibility and control, those kind of things. There's no contribution limits like Josh talked about, but primarily people are buying IUL. They're looking for tax-deferred growth. They're looking for tax-free income. It's a great way to supplement income in the future. Josh mentioned, people need to be planning on income in the future. They're buying a lot of products that create cash for them, growth, but they haven't really thought about what's the effectuation of that cash in retirement. So you can see this just has a lot of boxes that checks the IUL if done correctly. This product today, IUL is not in this realm. It's not meant to be a death benefit play. There's different products that solve that problem. This is just more using the IUL to take advantage of all those things you'll see on the screen: tax-deferred growth, tax-free withdrawals, creditor protected, things like that. So just another way of just kind of thinking about it. I would just recommend, as you're working with your clients, just to find out what their needs are. Make sure you're communicating with them, talking with them more about like what are their plans for income in the future, how they're planning for it. A lot of times when you're working with these products, you'll find that you'll find a need for income, and then you'll find a premium solution to help solve that income need. All right, Josh, you want to take this one? You want me to grab this one?
Hey guys, just want to mention real quick, if anybody has any questions, use the Q&A function or chat function. We're happy to answer.
Yep, amen.
Yeah, actually, we do have one question that's very, timely. So we have a question about ERISA plans like 401k are completely creditor protected too, right? Do we have an answer for that?
I don't have it. I won't speak to that on 401k. You have to get with your tax consultant on that, please.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, great. No, you definitely need to be, if you're selling IUL, you definitely need to be watching these. You need to be working with your clients on a regular basis to make sure you manage them.
And then we do have one more. So these are great planning objectives, but are they achieved automatically through the ownership of the IUL? Because IULs don't operate on automatic pilot, do they?
I don't quite understand the question. Great planning objectives, but are they achieved automatically through the ownership of the IUL? Do you get all these? Do you get all these benefits, but just buying the IUL? I think maybe that's the question. I would say yes, you do. You don't have to. Maybe there was a question you had about this screen here. Do you have to declare which of these you get? No, the client gets all these benefits. That's a great thing about IUL, by the way. I used to mention that, but the client gets all those benefits. They don't have any 0% floor. Our product is uncapped, no penalty, so no. But primarily people are, there's a lot of flexibility and control. People use IULs for different reasons, but we get a lot of the main reason is for tax-deferred growth and tax-free income. Hopefully I understood the question correctly.
Yeah, and I think to briefly add to that, there is a case design element to go into it. We want to make sure that we design the IUL appropriately. We don't need to get into that too much today. Great question for some specific one-on-one follow-up, but we'll design the cases specifically to meet your goals. And also, it is good, like any investment, to review these annually to make sure that they're still in line with your objectives. Could there be adjustments that can be made along the way? Sure. It's not completely set it and forget it. Nothing should be, but all those benefits that he just showed are inherent to an IUL.
Yeah, and this piece really here is, and when you work with Josh and DMI, we also have something called My Nexus. I'll point out here on the screen. This information I'm showing you here on the 8 layers of protection. There's a few others under the idea of tax mitigation on My Nexus. Josh will get you invited to that. In My Nexus, it has all our marketing material we build in-house, so a lot of around the product. At a different time when you want to get with Josh, I'm happy to go through more of the product with you. I'll run through My Nexus with you, get you comfortable, answer a lot of more detailed questions. We can work on the software. We can do that another time, no problem at all. You got full access to me. I'm happy to help. But this is another great idea. A lot of your clients, and like Josh said, they're not thinking about, just all the benefits and all the taxes that are coming. So you just got to think through, when your clients are taking income down the road, what are the taxes that are going to be coming out of the products they're buying. So just think about that. This can help mitigate that. Great marketing piece. Of course, here's a QR code I put up for you. This is around the concept of Maya Nexus as well. This is on Maya Nexus. So we have a big team here, a big marketing team here at Nexus, maybe 30, 35 strong. There's a lot of pieces here you can take out to your clients, help you make a sale, help communicate this idea in more of a condensed manner. So these are just some really good marketing pieces I wanted to share with you as well. So we started in the beginning about, today we started in the beginning about who a Nexus is a little bit, just to kind of give you some comfort around what we're doing here, because it's just, we want to make sure you understand that who we are. But when you're thinking about using these products, what the research says is first and foremost, what our products feature and our philosophy is about better consumer outcome. And when you're going to do IUL for tax planning, that's very, very important. One, you find a product that has really low cost structure. At a Nexus, anytime you get an illustration from Josh, with our product, you're always going to get an annual cost summary. Many do not provide that. I would recommend any kind of evaluation you do on this concept. You start with the cost. It's really, really critical. So you want to have an ultra low cost structure. Obviously, the less fees you have in a product, the more sustainable it is, the higher probability of success it is. When you have down years, it helps you. Puts more money in your client's pocket, gives them more income. So it's really an important idea. Number two, you want to make sure you have this really strong par rates. Par rates have been very stable and consistent. They're actually somewhere between 180 and 285. The indexers are also uncapped. And then lastly, you're looking for a product that's going to have really strong contractual guaranteed par rates. These are industry leading. Par rates can change, but our par rates are guaranteed never to go below 100 to 125%. All right, very good. You'll be happy to know that it's a very simple underwriting process. The underwriting in your applications go through Josh and DMI. He can walk you through all that. I highly would recommend you always use electronic application. You can use electronic application for any of your cases. The underwriting is quick and efficient. You should not need any labs or exams on the majority of cases. It is fully underwritten, that's true, but it's more efficient. From us, you're also going to get a lot of point of sale marketing material. Of course, our design about the low cost, our philosophy. And again, certain cases, it's funded, the way they should be funded in this arena, they should be overfunded. You do have an opportunity to increase your compensation as well. This is kind of a fun slide. Why don't advisors sell life insurance? We work with a lot of work with a lot of advisors that sell annuities and manage money. They hear some horror stories. We hear some horror stories as well. This product is not about replacing your FIA or your AA business. It's not about that at all. It's about another opportunity to have other conversations with your clients about taxes and income. It's just another product in your overall offering as a planner. Number one. Number two, the horror stories are absolutely true. I would say for the most part, a couple different things come to mind, but you want to make sure you don't have these poor product designs. That can really impact the overall experience for your client. We just talked about it a minute ago. Absolutely, the buying process in the past, I've been doing this a long time, can be long, and that's true. It still can happen, but today you got EAP, you got more of an efficient, abbreviated underwriting process. Don't let that scare you off. Sometimes it takes the same amount of time you do an FIA, very similar process. Is it worth my time financially? It is. These contracts typically pay around what a FIA pays, so they're definitely valuable, and that's no doubt about it. We get a lot of feedback from advisors that maybe just sold FIA in the past, they sold A in the past, and they have found that by bringing this product into their practice, it can really help them pick up some new clients and help them solve some new problems. All right, so thank you very much. Of course, get with Josh. I'm here to take some questions if you have them, and I appreciate your time. And again, you guys, we are nothing without your business. So thank you very much for that. Josh?
Yeah, no, thanks. And let me know if there's any more questions you want to address, Maureen. We can do that if we have any more time.
We do. Ready? Okay.
Yes,
I'm ready.
I see him.
We're checking back with David's got a lot of questions from me here. So just to clarify, Steve, what you were saying, overfunded, that can increase the compensation. Did we hear that right?
Yes, correct. Overfunded. And even when you run the illustration, it'll show you if you didn't pick up that additional comp, it'll show you what premium you need to pay to increase that compensation. So it shows you, it's kind of highlighted. And if you miss it, then it's highlighted down there on the illustration. We a Nationwide and Secure would really highly recommend or like the business it is over funding. That's the reason for this product. So yes.
And then what is the fee structure? What percent of the premiums get into the cash value? And I know this is probably going to depend product to product, but
yeah, everybody's different. Depends on their age, depends on the death benefit, depends on the health status. You can look at that when Josh gets you an illustration. If I can help you with that, let me know. And if you have more questions on expenses, I'm happy to walk you through how to read IUL, how to look at the cost summary, and how to really evaluate those expenses. So it just depends.
Excellent. And I do want to point out that currently on the screen is a QR code. If you want to click on that, you'll get all of Josh's downloadable information. It's very easy to contact him. So let's see, what is my next question? Is how can we establish the costs?
Yeah, there's what's called an annual cost summary, and you can, just the 4 columns, and you can just see the costs right there in black and white. Really, excellent. And really, you guys, I'm glad you asked this twice or maybe 3 times. I would start with cost, and I have found that you don't usually get the annual cost summary from a lot of other products. If you are comparing products, I would start with cost. And, if you don't get that in the illustration, Josh can get that for you. I would start there. I would recommend when you're evaluating IUL, maybe go longer, maybe look at the 15, 20, 30 year, go longer. And there's just 4 simple columns that add up. Very, 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 very easy way of checking out what the costs are. And I think what you'll find, though, is what's really fantastic is that when you look at the cost over a number of years, I think you're going to be really surprised how inexpensive this product and this strategy is to benefit your clients. It's not very much cost at all when you really look at over a period of time. Very low cost structure. And it provides a lot of benefits, a lot of income, a lot of benefits for very, very low cost as well.
Excellent. Hey, Josh, if someone's already contracted with DMI, do they need to get contracted for the product with a Nexus, or how does that work?
Yeah, if you're already contracted with DMI, first of all, we really appreciate your partnership, but we do also need to get an additional contract with the Nexus products as well. And we can do that very easily.
And this is an interesting question. So one agent uses whole life and is to maximize pay down and recovery for the beneficiary. How might IUL fit in this scenario?
Yeah, can you define pay down for me a little bit?
I cannot, but perhaps they can.
Yeah, it comes up a little bit. I'll speak to whole life versus IUL. They're both excellent products. I would say that to me, they're like silverware. They're both silverware, but they're different. Whole life can be used for a lot of different strategies. I think of whole life more as a protection product. It's built-in guarantees. IUL has a place for certain kind of solutions. People like the fact that they have uncapped opportunity in IUL versus whole life tends to be more of a bond rate product. The upside's maybe a little greater, a little less cost. Typically in IUL will drive more benefit to the client, but there's nothing wrong with either one. It just depends on what you're trying to solve. If I was trying to eat pudding, I'd get a spoon. If I was trying to eat a steak, I'd get a fork. So I would just think of them that way. They both can help depending on what your need is.
And so by pay down, we're talking about taking maximum pension for single, using life to pay back spouse.
Oh, like a pension max concept, that would be more of a death benefit sale, I would say. That pension max, and Josh can work with you on that. Yeah, I think that's pension max. Like that's what we used to call it back in the day.
Yeah, that's a good question, and it illustrates the use for IUL as more of a cash accumulation play than a death benefit play. So no, an IUL in that situation probably wouldn't be the solution.
Yeah.
Excellent. We have
other solutions for that for sure.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So we have someone asking about the best way to help their client understand this concept. And I want to put out there that everyone that's contracted with DMI, you have in my back office several marketing materials that can be customized. It's all client approved and compliance approved. So that is available for DMI agents. Other than that, I'm sure working with your wholesaler, with Josh, will help to explain everything and help make your sales process easier.
Yeah, and there's a lot of information on my Nexus too. Josh can help you. We can jump on a call, individually with Josh and I'm happy to go through that couple concepts, give you some sales pieces. You're probably not going to, in IUL, I would recommend maybe just going more with your clients. You're not going to go too crazy on the overall, they're really counting on you to bring the product that answers their need. But there's definitely a lot of marketing material you can bring, and there's a lot of concepts. In the illustration itself, both of our carriers have a more of a sales piece you can add in the illustration. It really walks through like even the boxes, like what are the benefits of IUL, what does it do, how does it work? All that is also in the illustration. It's a really nice, easy way to communicate how you can explain it to your clients. So that was a good question. Very good. They're all good questions.
If you use IUL for premium financing, what type of platforms do you deal with?
Yeah, there's a section on MyNexus as well. You can use either products for premium financing. And one of the product, if any of you use Kaizen, if you guys use Kaizen or not, but the Securian product is on that platform as well. Maybe that was the question, but there's some rules around premium financing. Again, on MyNexus, there's rules from Nationwide and Securian, what they're looking for, how to do it. But we tremendous amount of premium financing around this product. Great use of the product.
Does an IUL protect assets from Medicaid, especially given income limitations, access to money, and estate planning?
I'll give that one to Josh. I'm not a CPA.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, without giving legal advice, putting assets or money into an IUL in and of itself would not protect it from any income limits or Medicaid in general. It's not a Medicaid planning strategy on its own. I believe those assets would still be counted towards income and subject to recovery after death. But I'm not an attorney, but that is the general idea.
We're not going to play one on this webinar.
The question about the tax-free income, it's just part of, there's no, the life insurance by law gets tax-deferred growth and tax-free income. So it just comes from the IRS code.
Yeah, and from a Medicaid standpoint, I believe it's still a countable asset to some degree at least. Yeah, if you don't mind my chiming in, Sal, you can absolutely contact me, and we can work together with Steve on any premium financing model questions you have.
Well, the hits keep coming. Any more? We do have some open questions and comments. I think some of these I'm going to be taking offline for follow-ups, definitely. And is there any other questions right now? And if you'd like to discuss it, we can always put your hand up too, and we can open up the microphone floor. We have one raised hand.
Shall we? Let's allow Sal to talk about that. You're on, Sal.
You might be muted still.
Yeah. Great.
Yes, sir. Go for it.
I want to establish the cost for IUL. That is something that has bothered me a lot.
Yeah.
How do I establish the cost?
Well, we'll just jump on a call with Josh. We'll set up a time and I'll show you how to do it. No
Perfect.
problem. Very, 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 very easy to do. Very important step, by the way, Sal. Very, very easy to do.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks for the question, Sal.
Yeah.
So is that it, Maureen?
I believe so.
Great, guys. Hey, we really appreciate the engagement today, everybody. But one last question for Josh. Josh, before we ask the questions, I think you may have had a comment or observation, or is there anything you wanted to add before we wrap up today?
Honestly, a lot of it got covered in the participation. I see a lot of questions that are product specific, questions pertaining to how to make sure these are worthwhile in the design and in the administration of them. I see those questions, David. Thank you. And we can talk about how to do that. And even things such as supporting social media and getting in front of clients. That's precisely what we want to follow up with you on, to tailor those to your practice. And we can get you in front of clients, and we can prepare you to present these solutions in a meaningful way and grow your business, add more money and income to your practice while giving meaningful solutions to your clients. So please follow up with us on the questions that you've asked, and any other questions you have. Please reach out to me today. Call me anytime, and we look forward to working with you.
Yes, Josh. Appreciate it. And by the way, as you can tell, Josh is pretty seasoned when it comes to life. And Stephen, again, man, I as always, really appreciate your expertise and you being here. It's always a pleasure. Look forward to our next one together. And I think that's it for today, guys.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Take care, guys.